Hey there, good looking. Listen, if you're concerned about your bone strength and health, and heads up, any woman over the age of 50 should be, then this is the perfect strength workout for you. Whether you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, or you're just simply concerned about keeping the strength of the bone, this is the perfect workout for you. Now, you need some tools for this workout, so please grab what you consider are a pair of moderate dumbbells, as well as just one heavy. We also need access to a wall, a chair and or a bench, and some exercise tubing. All right, awesome. Let's go get warmed up. Why, hello there. Hey, listen, if you don't know who I am, my name is PJ Wren, and I've been a certified personal trainer for close to 30 years now, helping women and men over the age of 40 live their fittest and fiercest life, and it is so awesome to have you. And a big hello to my over 50 fitness crew. They get this video ads free. Now, let's warm up. As we warm up, I'll chat about the workout. So, gear off to the side. Beautiful. Let's start by working balance as well as warming up into the lower body, bringing the knee up to the chest. So I've got this design so that the whole series is standing. I didn't want us up, down, up, down. However, there is a spicy version of one of the moves which will show in an alternative screen up here, which does have you on the ground. We've got 30 seconds of work, so I really want you to make sure that you are loading up your muscles so you feel and you're getting challenged. And then 15-second recovery, 4 rounds. So a lot of volume so that we get that muscle strength and that bone building. Now, you'll want to stick around to the very end as well, because I've got a bone building little Tabata for us, which is kind of a high intensity cardio, but it'll be done in a way in which you'll feel really successful. Last 2. 1 more. Beautiful. All right, now let's do a single leg kick, letting that foot come up towards the hand, warming up now more into the hamstrings. Other leg is soft, and again, working balance. Let's do 2 more. Other side. Two more. Excellent. Now, big arm circles. Go backwards for me, but first, feet apart, knees soft, abs engaged. And all that means is drawing the belly button in towards the spine so that we don't shift in the core. Now we're warming shoulders up. Exaggerate that range of motion too. Quite often I'll ask my clients to do this, and this is what they do. Right? I want you to go nice and big. Warm the shoulders up. Increase that range of motion. Great job. Last 2. Now let's open and close the arms now. So open the chest and then give yourself a hug. Perfect. And control the movement. We're just not flinging the arms. Once again, the knees are soft. Those abdominals are contracted. All that means is the belly button's drawn into your spine. Almost like you're bracing. If somebody was going to come and pat you on the belly and you're kind of bracing for that. I don't know who would come pat you on the belly. That would be super awkward, but it was just the best way to describe how I want you to contract that deep core muscle, your transverse. Last 2. And 1. If anyone comes patting you on the belly, I want you to pat them right back. Feet apart for me, toes turned out. Bring the arms up, slide the shoulder blades into your back pocket. Push your hips rearward, come down as deep as it feels comfortable for your squat pattern. And now take a peek for me. We want those knees tracking with the toes. Good. And we want a hip hinge. So that means that I'm hinging from the hip joint here. I'm not rounding the low spine. And that's really important if you do have osteoporosis, is maintaining that neutral spine. And we'll chat more about it as we do the workout, because you'll hear me cue quite a bit about maintaining that lower lumbar curve, keeping those shoulders pulled back and down. Last 2. And 1. Good. Now hands light behind the ears, and let's learn that hip hinge. You can keep your feet where they are. Soften the knees, and you want to push your bum as if it's reaching the wall behind you. And as I said, you're hinging from the hip. So if we had a dowel from the tip of the head all the way down to the tailbone, that dowel would stay there because we are moving through that hip joint only. 2 more. Last 1. And release. All right. We need a wall for this. A spicy version. I'll be on my knees, But essentially what we're going to set up ourselves here, maybe you can join me, is your arms are straight, you're against the wall, you're in a plank, you're going to lower down to a push-up and then push yourself back and then let yourself come back, okay? So let's give it a try. Ready? So give me a wall push-up and then press yourself back. Now it's the impact of the hands coming back against our wall that's going to assist us in building the bone up into the wrists and shoulders. So now you'll see I'm there on the ground doing the same thing in a modified push-up. I'm going to show the second time that we do this using the chair in case the wall isn't enough to really fatigue the chest muscles, okay? Now I want you to grab what you consider is that one heavy dumbbell. Get your feet situated like we did in warm-up, feet shoulder width, toes turned out. Now dumbbell close to the body and sink down for your squat. Please make sure that this is heavy enough. The key thing, especially if you do have osteoporosis, and what the research is telling us, is that we need to overload the muscle, therefore it tugs on the bone and creates those bone blasts to create stronger bone, but we need to make sure that we are lifting heavy enough. So if you are not new to strength training, make sure you're adding every week, every second week. Let's do one more rep. Time. Good. Now I'm going to just place my heavy dumbbell on the chair so I don't have to bend down to pick it up every time. There's a tip. Let's grab the tubing, wrap it around the head, hands, elevate them above the head, and then you're going to pull one down, elbow to rib cage, and other arm down. So as you pull the one arm down, you really have to fire up your back muscles in the arm up there to keep the band there while we work your back muscles and arm muscles as we pull down. So a lot of core involved here as well. Knees soft, draw that belly button in. Remember, someone's coming to pat that belly, you're bracing for that pat. Time. All right, now we're going to take it back to that plyo push-up. So you can go against the wall or take a look at me here using my chair, and you can also use a bench. This makes it a little more challenging. Ready? Take it down and press it up. So this is what you'll look like on the wall. Elbows are coming behind you. Make sure you keep that plank so your bum's not pushing back. Push-ups, mountain climbers, anything where you're on your hands with your body weight is really effective for building that bone into the wrist and shoulders. One more. Time. All right. Grab your dumbbell. If it is on the ground, again, make sure you square yourself to that dumbbell and use your legs to pick it up, not rounding your spine. Feet wide, toes turned out, ready, set, and drop her down. So here, the squat pattern, if you've got heavy enough, we are simulating some bone into the hip and lower lumbar spine. Well, we also strengthen all the muscles that cross the knee and hip. Now, as an added bonus, we get that core involved too. I want you keeping your head up for me. One more. Good job. All right. Let's grab the tubing. So, wrap it around your hand, maybe a bit more if you find the last set really didn't fatigue you. Get your arms up. Knees soft, abs engaged, and pull down, elbow towards that waist. Now when the arms are up there too, be aware that the shoulders aren't hiked up to the ears. Sometimes we do that. If you're prone to headaches, you don't want to do that. Or if you find you do get a lot of headaches, then maybe you are elevating those shoulders. So try to relax them through your day. Time. All right, so that was round 2. So we've got 2 more rounds. Take it back to your plyo push-up. You choose against the wall, or with me, or the spicy version, which is up there in the screen. Here we go. Bum in, hands shoulder width, drop down, press. Once again, my whole body's like a plank. Working into the pecs, that's your chest muscles, front of the shoulder, and your triceps. And then again, as an added bonus, we get that core involved. Now the impact, when the hands, boom, go back onto the ground, is where we get that bone stimulation into the elbow and shoulders. One more. Time. Squat. All right, and again, make sure if your dumbbell's on the ground, you square yourself and then pick it up. So not what I just did. I just went off to my side. Do as I say, not as I do. Ready, and squat it out. When we come up, we straighten those legs. When we come down, the knees are tracking with the toes. Ideally, if you had your shoes and socks off, your knees are actually tracking with your second toe. So take a peek. Where are those knees? Good. Hinging from that hip. Time. Great job. All right, pull downs. So again, wrap it around the hand. Loosely, especially if you do have osteoporosis, right? Be sensitive of the hand. You don't want it too tight. So if you do have, been told you have severe osteoporosis, it might be best not to wrap it around your hand. But, you're going to know your little modifications and what you've been taught by hopefully physiotherapists if you went, or some group classes if you went. Last one. Time. So I'm not going to be able to cue for every unique situation, but I will do my damnedest. All right, our final round. Plyometric push-up, standing, kneeling, or on the ground. In 3, 2, 1, and go. This one really sneaks up on you, doesn't it? Yeah. If you're wondering what the black thing is around my forearm, it's just because I have tennis elbow. So this helps take some of the load off of those muscles when we're using the dumbbells. Last 2. Let's do one more, everyone. Time. Woo! All right, let's squat it out. Remember, safe positioning as you pick your dumbbell up. Feet apart. Toes are turned out ever so slightly, so those knees and toes track naturally. Dumbbell held close to the body, and squat. Now do me a favor right here, pull your shoulders together slightly so we're not rounding that upper back. Great job. And then your gaze is at where the ceiling and the wall meet, just ahead of you. So keep your gaze up, and that's really going to help you with that neck and upper back positioning in this position here, so we're not looking down. Good. One more. Time. Awesome job. All right. Grab your tube. And again, if you don't want to wrap it around the hand, right? Okay. I figured you figured that out. Here we go. Ready? One at a time. Now we're immediately going to go into a new series after this, at which we use our tube right away. So the way this is designed, this program, is we train the front of the body, then the lower body, then the back of the body. So by the time we're done, you have trained every muscle in your body. Trainer's promise. Last one. Release. All right, I want you to mirror me. Place the tubing just underneath your right leg and then step your other one forward. So you're in this position. From here, we're going to just scoop the arms up with a slight bend in the elbow. Now, if your tube is quite tight, you can step the arm behind and have the leg in front. And that's going to give you a little bit more resistance tubing to lift. A couple of cues I really want you to be aware of is that you are moving through the shoulders, so it's just a slight bend of the elbow. And then that core is engaged. So again, someone's still coming to pat that belly of yours. I know it's really rude of them, but it's just going to have to get used to it for this whole workout. Someone's coming to pat your belly, and you are drawing that belly button in and bracing for that pat. Time. All right, alternating reverse lunges. Now, lunges aren't everybody's jam, so I want you to go as deep as it feels good for you. 1, 2, or no dumbbells. Feet start hip width apart. Now step back hip width apart. And again, go down as deep as it feels comfortable for you. My advanced people, let's get that knee all the way down to the ground. Now, if you are using no dumbbells, I do want you to see if you can in a couple of weeks progress to dumbbells. Again, we need that progressive overload to stimulate the change in both the muscle and the bone. One more. Time. All right, using the legs to get the dumbbells to the ground. Now, let's start with our left hand. Get your one heavy and get your right hand in front. So you've got a tripod position, feet and hand. Now, that left side comes up and releases. Now, we're not jamming the elbow past the rib cage. It's just coming up towards the side of the body, squeezing that left shoulder blade. Neutral spine, just like we learned in warm-up. Our hand is here on the chair or bench to help provide support for that. So, next round, we'll do the right arm. So we're just going to alternate left and right as we go, okay? Last two. One more. Time. Woo! All right, let's grab that tube. Maybe have it under your other leg, your right leg, or your left. Just me or me. Here we go. Ready, set, and scoop it. Good. So we scoop it. Breathe out as we scoop. Now, how high are we scooping? Just to shoulder height. Slight bend of the elbow, but then everything's coming through the pecs, front shoulder, a little squeeze of the pecs there, and release. So now hitting that shoulder and some wrists too of that bone building that we're so crucial as we get older. Reverse lunges, we're alternating. Use those legs to get your dumbbells. Again, remember your best setup, feet hip width, and then step back hip width. So not crowding your stance. Ready? Here we go. Take it down as deep as it feels comfortable for you. You can have a slight hinge forward. So you're hinging from the spine, or from the hip, and that'll put a little more emphasis on the glutes and might take some of it off of the knee joint itself. Last two. One more. Time. All right, it's our right arm now, tripod row. I'm grabbing a quick sip of water. So right arm's the working arm now. Get that spine set up and row. My feet are shoulder width. My hand is kind of in the center. And I'm back enough that I can freely allow my dumbbell to come down without hitting my chair. Sit your hips back. Draw that belly button in and breathe. Last two. One more. Excellent. All right. Mirroring me. All right, taking that leg, stepping on that tube, taking the other one and stepping forward. Or maybe you're keeping it behind because your tubing's quite tight. And you're having a hard time moving through the shoulders. So how will you know if it's too tight? Well, if you find that you really have to bend the elbows and it turns into this sort of bicep curl action, I want you to give yourself a bit more tube so we can have those arms straighter and move through the shoulder joint, less through the elbow joint. Breathe out as you pull up. That's the hard part. Last two. One more. Woo, baby. A lot of core on that move. Love it. All right, reverse lunge. Bend your legs to get your dumbbells if you're using them. Where's our setup? Feet hip width, right? Good job, you. Here we go. Step back. Lean forward a little bit, hinging from the hip if you want to make it in more into the glute. Might feel nicer for the knee. Play around with it. 2 more. Time. All right, we're back to that left arm for our row pattern. Again, we're setting ourselves up in that tripod position and making sure we have that neutral spine so there's no stress on your back. Here we go. Square your shoulders. And once again, we've got a lot of core work in here. So with osteoporosis and osteopenia, you do have to be careful on what core work you do. For example, you should be doing crunches, that's spinal flexion. But understand that if you are lifting heavy enough and doing these type of big body lifts, big compound movements, we've got a lot of abs engaged. Let's do one more. Time. Woo! All right. Here we go. Last round. Mirror me. Foot on. Yeah? Okay, cool. Step forward or keep that leg behind. Remember, we want to move through that shoulder. Ready? Breathe out. So we've got one more of each. We'll grab a quick water break, and then I have a really fun bone building Tabata to do. So it's a little bit more heart thumping fun. No equipment required. If you have been newly diagnosed with osteoporosis, I really recommend my 30-day program. The information's down below. Time. Woo, baby. Alternating reverse lunge, or if you're an over 50 fitness app, we have it released there. Feet hip width, but it'll give you and provide you a good education as well as a series of exercises that are safe and appropriate for where you're at. So these single leg type drills that we're doing here with the lunges, again, great for the balance. It's a very functional exercise. Let's do one more. Time. All right, put those off to your side. We won't need them. Woo. Okay, so it's our right arm now. Last set, last exercise before we move into that Tabata. To get that neutral spine, ready, exhale and row up. Good. Coordinate that breath, breathing out on the hard part of the movement. So for us on this one, it's pulling it up. Keep that belly button pulled towards the spine, those deep core muscles engaged. Tell your muscles, a couple more reps. Now one more. Time. Woo! Great job. Now use your legs to get your dumbbell down. Woo! Grab a sip of water. Move your equipment out of the way. Okay, so we have 2 different moves that we'll alternate between. 20 seconds of work, 10-second rest in between. 4 rounds of those, okay? Woo! So, as you sip, let me just quickly show you the first one. I call it a football shuffle, but it's in, out, out. Yes, even if you have osteoporosis, I want you to see if you can give me that little bit of impact, okay? The next one will be a gate swing, but I'll show a high impact here, but in the main screen, I'm gonna do a low impact. So I step out, come up, come off of the heels and reach up, step out, come up, come off of the heels. I want you to come off the heels with me so that we continue to challenge your balance and work the lower leg muscles, which do help with that balance. All right, you ready? Do you remember the first one? That's okay, that's why I'm here. We go in, out, out, okay? And again, you go as fast or take it whatever speed, okay? I just want you to add that little bit of impact, which is gonna help with stimulating that bone, in particular to the hip and lower lumbar. Here we go, round 1 of 4, let's go. Good, now head up. I like to use my arms for this. I just find it feels better, but I've seen some people do this with their arms. So I like to use kind of running arms. You do you, just keep those feet moving. I'm on the ball of the feet too. All right, time, march it out. So you can try the gate swing with the jump like I'm doing. I'm not doing the hands up though. That's only in the low impact version. Let's try it. Step out. Good. Reach it. Step out. Now, if you can get the hands to the ground, we're doing so right by bending the legs, bending at the knees, not bending at your back. So here is maybe where you're at right now. I want you to find what will challenge you. Time. Okay? Good job. So we're going into round 2. Remember, 4 total. Football shuffles, go. We go out, we go in. Working those hips, keeping that heart rate up, building that bone. Time. Woo. All right, we got gate swings. However, in that high impact, if that's the one you choose to do, you won't do the heels up, okay? Chest up, head up, go. Down. Reach it if you're with me. Here, down. So there's a lot of balance and a lot of research showing and telling us that as we get older, if we lose the strength in our calf muscles, it really affects our balance. So as we come up, that's what's working the calves. So move those legs in between. Okay, football shuffle, 3 of 4 coming up now. Woo! And we're still working calves. Can you feel them? Yes. So this is going to give you a positive impact for both your balance and the bone. You're welcome. Come on. Time. Woo! That one's kind of fun. Not like total fun, kind of fun. All right. Total fun will be when we stretch. Ready? Take it down. Good. Reach it. Work those calves down. Reach it. And add a slight pause. That's really going to challenge both calves and balance. Woo! All right, this is our last set. We'll cool it down, stretch you out. Big smile. You've done amazing. Let's finish strong. Go. Listen, if you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, that doesn't mean you just sit in a chair and do 3-pound dumbbells. We need to train you, all right? There are parameters, but you can still train hard. Time. All right. Gate swings, last set, best set. Let's go. Now notice when I come down, I'm still looking up. Why don't you do the same? Okay, you don't have to look at me, but just look at something up in front of you so we're not letting that head drop. Time! Woo! We did it! Come on, give me a high five. Ready? Good job. All right, you. I want you to grab a sip of water. Please keep those feet moving. We will cool you down and then stretch you out, and then you can continue on with your day. All right. Again, grab a sip. Just keep those feet moving, please. Just catch your breath for a bit, and then we will head onto the mat for our stretches because there's some safer ways we can do stretches when you have osteoporosis than standing or even half kneeling. So, all right, let's get the feet apart. Deep breath in. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. We want to fill the air right into the lower belly there. Exhale. All right, now if you still feel like your heart rate's going like a hummingbird, then please push pause, walk it around, allow that heart rate to go down. Otherwise, I'd like you to join me lying on your side. And then we bring that top heel to the bum and pull the knee back and get a stretch into the quadricep and perhaps even into the front of the hip. Now, if this feels okay and you want to increase the intensity somewhat, you take that bottom leg and you hook the foot on the outside of that top leg. Now, for most of my workouts that we say are osteo-safe for the general population, I will forewarn you that sometimes the stretches, we don't give substitutes for the stretches. So for stretches, what we want to avoid are deep twists. So you can do a little bit of twist by all means if you're lying flat on the ground. And we also want to avoid flexion of the spine. So for example, a really good example would be, the forward fold in yoga. You can do it in yoga, just keep a neutral spine, so you may need to build your ground up with a chair, or if you're flexible with some yoga blocks. All right, let's do the other side. But if you're here on Over 50 Fitness or on the YouTube channel, we do have playlists called Osteoporosis Safe. Some of the stretches, though, you may need to sub out. But all the exercises themselves are good. Sorry, heel to bum first, to pull the knee back, and only if that feels okay for you, take that bottom leg. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any comments, please drop them down below. I love reading them. And if you don't mind, if you could click a thumbs up for the video. The thumbs up as well as the comment really helps the video on the YouTube algorithm. It lets YouTube know that, hey, people like this video, and then they'll recommend it to others. And perhaps we can help other women around the world with osteoporosis. And release. Take it yourself on the back. Knees bent, left leg straight up, get into the hamstring. And then still keeping the back flat on the ground, bend this left leg. You can place the hand on top of the knee. And if this feels okay, feel free to straighten the other leg. Stretching into your glutes here. And then on that straightened leg, we get into the hip as well. And then lift the head up, slide the chin in and lower down. We always want that back of the neck longer than the front. And if you're unable to maintain that, scoot a pillow underneath your head or a rolled towel. And all stretches on a scale of 0 to 10 should be about a 5, with 10 being you can't maintain this. There should be no shaking, no holding your breath. We want the tissue to be relaxed so that we can get the most out of the stretch. If it thinks that you're going to injure it by holding it too hard, it's going to contract and we won't be able to actually get any extra flexibility in that muscle. Left foot to ground, right foot up, get into the hamstring. And you can bend the knee as well, that might feel better for you. And let's bend that knee, hands on top of the shin. If that feels okay for you, feel free to extend the other leg and then really press the heel into the ground. That's going to give us more of a stretch into that front of the hip there. And as best you can, you're relaxing the rest of the body. Getting a handle on the breathing again. You might even have your eyes closed, just enjoying these last few moments after your exercise session. And then I hope you have a smile on your face. You did a great job showing up today. And release. Now, safest way to roll up is to get yourself on your side and then use your arms to press yourself up into a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And hey, like I said, if you just were diagnosed with osteoporosis and want some more guidance, you are a prime candidate for our 30-day osteoporosis program. All the information's down below. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you next workout. Bye. Now you need some tools for this workout because I really want this to be effective for you. I really want this to be really effective for you. I'm going to keep saying really because I only know the word really. course, I want you to grab heavy enough dumbbells that will stimulate change in... It was going good. It was going good, wasn't it? Yeah, and then you know what happened? Because it was going good, and then all of a sudden it wasn't going good? Yeah, because my brain just went from what I was talking about to what I have to do. This was a key learning moment to focus on what you're doing at the moment, not about the future. I know it's a lot of equipment, but I wanted this to be super effective for you. So please gather your tools, and I promise you the most effective and most fun workout there is on the internet. Oh, I can't make that claim. No, I can't make that claim.